Alright, what's up guys? Today we are going over what my next strength block is going to look like. I'm going to start off with some credentials so y'all know I'm not just some random trying to tell y'all how to train. I'm going to get into my old program, what was good with it and what I didn't really like about it, what didn't grow as much as I wanted it to. And then I'm going to lead into my new program, what I changed, what I think is going to make me get stronger, faster, stuff like that. And then we're going to get into the nitty gritty, sets, reps, all that stuff with the Nuga program. And since I'm still learning and putting this together, I don't want to put a paywall behind any of my stuff. So this is going to be dropped in the comments, probably pinned. The full thing, sets, reps, all the jazz. Hopefully there's a cool intro. All right, guys. Like I said, starting off with some credentials. So a little bit of history. My dad played D1 college football for the University of Memphis, and his all-time best lifts 405 bench, 615 squat, 405 hang clean. So as you can imagine, with him being his life being so centered around the gym, I pretty much grew up in this like gym environment. And recently, I've been diving into the old books, a little old school, trying to get the knowledge up about everything. Right. So I do have powerlifting meet experience. So I'm not just
Come on, Brandon.
lifting to lift. I actually
Ooh,
compete in
fight,
powerlifting
fight,
meets and
fight.
whatnot.
Oh, and he.
I've never I've never done a bodybuilding show, but bodybuilding has always been one of my motivators and whatnot. Seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger, all of those guys, the old school guys. So I have really I got experience bulking up, cutting, and all of that jazz. So right, so getting into the what the old program did good and what it kind of fell short on. All right, so it did squat and deadlift really, really well, and leg hypertrophy as well. So I noticed my legs getting bigger, fatter, which is always the goal, and my squat going up like 20, 25, 30 pounds in 4 weeks, which is just insane. And I've hit all-time deadlift PRs at the end. So in it just 4 weeks, that was just incredible. But what it kind of fell short on was like bench and upper body volume. I think I focused too much on legs because I it's 4 day split, rest day in the middle, and then I would bench on Tuesday after squat, and then Friday was kind of like an upper volume day. So I think I needed to include another heavy pressing movement because I think that bench really benefits from being done more than once in 1 week. So maybe 2 times, maybe even 3 times. But I like to experiment like on myself, you know. So I'll run a block, see what was good, change it. So eventually I'll have the pretty good program. You know what I mean? All right. Now, hopefully, for what you clicked on the video for the new program. So this is kind of broken up into two 2 weeks. So you have a week one and a week two, and then back to week one, back to week two. And this is going to be a 6 week program. So I kind of named my first one Super Training because most of the stuff, most of the stuff I got out of it for my first program was from the Super Training book. But this was I'm calling this one Super Training V2 because I've changed it around and whatnot. So week one, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then week two, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So the upper body lifts always stay the same, but the lower body lifts alternate week by week. Because with my old training program, having a heavy squat and a heavy deadlift in the same week, I was just fatigued all the time. Like I'm walking around school fatigued. And obviously the feeling of being fatigued, I like it a little bit, but when coming into my deadlift day already fatigued, the muscles that I'm using to deadlift are already fatigued, so I can't deadlift as hard as I would like to. You know what I mean? So I have this broken up into week one is going to be a heavy squat, and then on Thursday we have sort of a speed complex with we're starting off with like a power slash hang clean, and then some dumbbell jumps, and then 30 minutes of plyometrics, anyways, that's sort of a speed complex day instead of a deadlift day. And power clean, hang clean. I'm not looking to like build super fast, be able to sprint a lot or sprint super fast, but I'm looking to be able to like train my body to be able to like fire on command, be twitchy. You know what I mean? Because like on a power clean, hang clean, if you've ever done one, as soon as you touch that bar, you got to explode. There's no slowing down. You know what I mean? So looking to build some speed out of the bottom of squats, some speed um, off the ground deadlifts, just training my body to be able to operate at 100% in short amount of times. Which hopefully this will transfer over to shot put and discus track and field that I do at the school. So that was my thought process there. And then we get to the second week, which it says Sam squats, which is Sam Sulik's sort of style of squatting in his older videos, where he had his legs together and his heels elevated on a plate, and then he would squat sort of like that. So the way that he's trying to emphasize his quads there. So if you emphasis your quads there early in the week, and then do a lot of quad work on Monday instead of like squats and like total leg work, then you can set yourself up for not being as sore in the hamstrings, glutes on your deadlift day. So I'm looking to have still squat volume, but I'm not frying my deadlift muscles, and they're still going to be sore on my deadlift day. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get over some sets, reps, all that. Okay, Monday, squat. Um, so the way I like to structure my heavy compounds is one heavy set and then a few back off sets, because it really just allows you to feel some heavy weight. Because I've noticed that it just gets boring sometimes when you walk in and you have like a just like a random 4x5, and it's not as heavy as you want to go, but it's still kind of heavy, and then it really just puts you in a slump where you're like, well, maybe this is just who I am now. I can't lift heavy weights anymore. And then so I was trying to avoid that. Anyways, so squat 2 to 3 sets, 90 to 95%, with a 2x5 back off with about 80 to 85%. All right, and then after that, go to a single leg press, 3 sets, 8 to 10 on each leg. We're really looking for single leg power, so that way when you're squatting, your knees don't go inwards, because that's been a big problem of mine. With the squats get heavy, I'm pushing up as hard as I can, and then my knees start to go inward, which obviously is super not good if you ever want to touch some crazy weights. And then getting into glute ham machine. So this is one where you hold weight like this and your legs are supported, and you're kind of doing this action right here. Really looking for a stronger back and glute area. And then some ab work. So I just have ab work because there's so many different ab variations and whatnot. Some of my favorites are hanging leg raises, or like the Bruce Lee style dragon flags and stuff like that. So that's 3 by 10 to 15. And then Tuesday bench. Okay, I guess I'll do the other Monday. Does that make sense? So this is not one week. I'm gonna go Monday, then Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday, because the upper body stays the same. There's no secondary upper body. Okay, the secondary Monday, it's gonna be Sam Sulek style squats. Um, 80 to 85% of your 1 rep max for normal squats, and then 2x5 back offs with like, I would say 75%. And then deficit sissy squats. So I just recently came across these and I thought they looked pretty cool, and I thought they wouldn't be super fatiguing. So you'd have to get in a rack and put your hands on the side of the rack like this, and then find some type of box. And if you're familiar with a sissy squat, you you know what? I'm gonna stop trying to explain it, and I'll put a video of it on the screen. That'll probably be easier. All right, then pistol squats. You can do assisted or unassisted depending on how you are. 3 by 6 to 8 each. Oh, and the deficit sissy squats were 3 by failure. So you go to failure and then rest up, go to failure, then rest up. Okay, then pistol squats. 3 by 6 to 8 each. And then calf raises. Um, Obviously, because calves are super important. 3 by 10 to 12. And then ab work, 3 by 10 to 15. Okay, so the way I have calves written in here is on the Monday one, or on week 1, you're hitting calves on Thursday. But then on week 2, you're hitting calves on Monday. Okay? So, and then we'll get Tuesday. So Tuesday, probably one of the more fun days, I would say, because it's not super legs. So bench, heavy set of 2 to 3, 90 to 95%. And for this one, have a spotter and don't be afraid of failure, because in failure there's growth. So slap on 90, 95%, get 2, go for a third, fail, have your spotter, who cares? You failed, whatever. And then back offs, 2 by 5, 80 to 85%. So the back offs are just to accumulate more overall volume without being super taxing. So that way you can still recover and have energy and whatnot. And then tricep press downs, a 3 by 8. Tricep press downs are super important for bench pressing, because you can come off your chest really good, and then right here, the sticking point, everybody's sticking point, is all triceps. You come off your chest, and then the tension shifts right into your triceps. So having super strong triceps helps avoid the sticking point and keep fighting all the way up when you're maxing. And then barbell rows, of course, for the back, 3 by 8 to 12. I really like barbell rows. So the way I like to do them is take the bar to like just below your knee, and then just pull up along your quads, and really focusing on, so to get to the bottom, unflex your back and then flex your back and pull up. It's like get to the bottom and take your shoulder blades apart, and then pull up and get your shoulder blades back together. All right. And then a rear delt fly. 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. I would say this is one of the most important exercises on the whole list, because you're really frying when you're going for heavy benches and heavy sets and whatnot, you're really frying your front delt. So if you have all this front delt stimulus but you never touch your rear delt, what's going to happen is your shoulder is going to come forward because your rear delt is going to be weak. So you're gonna walk around like this, and you're gonna be like looking in the mirror, like, why does my chest look small? Well, it's because you need to get your rear delt more developed to pull it back. If you can tell, I sort of had this problem early on. All right, Wednesday, it's gonna be active rest and recovery. So active rest, you're not just sitting around like a bum. You're walking around, maybe playing basketball or something. And recovery, doing some stretches. Don't just sit around. That's the whole point. Don't just sit around. And Thursday. Thursday for week 1. Power and hang cleans. It's 2 by 3 with 2 by 5 back offs. So the way I would do power cleans is I would pick a weight that it's challenging, but if you can do one, you can probably do another one. So pick a weight, heavy. Get the first rep and then get the second rep. But don't pick something that you're going to fail the first rep on, because it's kind of dangerous. So if you could deadlift 405, don't try to power clean or hang clean it, because if you get it right here and drop it, dangerous, injuries, all that fun stuff. After that, dumbbell jumps, building explosive power. So we can really fight the bar off the ground on the deadlifts, fight out the bottom of the squats. Abductors. So abductors is another thing like single leg press, where I'm trying to prevent my knees from caving in on squats when they get heavy. So you get strong abductors, push them out, baby. Up. You see what I'm saying? And then we got calf raises, 3 by 10 to 12. Like I said, calf raises on Monday, week 2, calf raises on Thursday, week 1. And then the alternate Thursday, big deadlifts, baby. Deadlifts, 3 by 90 to 95%. Or 2 is okay as well. So 2 to 3, 90 to 95%. Really just focus on putting as much weight as you can in that 90 to 95% range, and just picking it up. And then backs off 2 by 5. But I would say if you do, for deadlifts especially, and maybe with some of the other lifts too, if you do a set of 90-95% and it's super taxing on your body, like you come in tired from the day before, get the heavy set in, and then maybe do like a less of a percent on the back off sets. So I'm not saying skip the back off sets, but do less of a percent because deadlifts are just super taxing on the body. So if you already come in tired, then it's not gonna benefit you as much as you want it to. All right, then we got glute ham machine again, right? So really focusing on strengthening the back. So this is going to be a heavy hamstring day. So Monday on week Monday on week 2 is a heavy quad day. This is a heavy hamstring day because the heavy quad day isn't gonna affect the deadlifts as much as it's gonna affect or it's not gonna affect the deadlifts as much as a real squat. So this Monday, week 1 is kind of like a full squat and like power week, and then week 2 is like um, a deadlift week. Pick as much weight as you can, and then leg extensions. So it's not totally losing quad volume, and then abductors to finish it off. Leg extensions is going to be 3 by 10 to 12, and then abductors is going to be 3 by 10 to 12 as well. Okay, Friday, baby, come on. Friday is probably going to be the funnest day for upper body volume, posing in the mirror, all that cool stuff. So Friday, like I said, on the first week, on my first training program, my Friday would have been more of like a volume day, more of hypertrophy action. But I wasn't really too happy with how much my bench went up. It went up like 10 or 15 in the 4 weeks, which it's still really, really good. But I'm hungry for more, baby. So I got a bench variation. I'm starting off with a bench variation. So that could be rack press, pause bench, Larson, which is where you have no feet on the ground, towel bench, anything of that nature. Just, different, change it. So it's not a regular bench, but it's still going to train the same muscles. And then we're going to get an incline dumbbell for the upper chest, um, 3 by 6 to 8. And I forgot to say for the bench variation, the sets and reps are going to vary based on which one you choose. But since I can't really like be there to personally train you through it, I would say pick a weight that's heavy and then do that for like 3, 4 sets, maybe 4 or 5 reps. All right, then incline dumbbell, 3 by 6 to 8 reps. Really focusing on going heavy on the incline dumbbells. If you need to, just find some person in the gym, have them help you get it right here. And then get into some chest fly, pec deck, cables, doesn't matter as long as it's a fly. 3 by 10 to 15. This is real like chest volume. You should feel like a big stretch, bring it back in. It feels nice, I promise. All right, pullovers. So I know there's a super cool machine where it goes back like this and then you pull it forward. You see the old school guys doing it like um, Ronnie Coleman. I think I see Schwarzenegger on it, but there's one I'm looking for, but I can't remember his name. Oh gosh, he's massive, huge. It's an old school guy. I can't remember his name right now. If you know his name, drop him in the comments. I can't remember. I'm forgetting. This is crazy. He's huge, and you always see him on this machine, pulling it down, baby. All right, pullovers 4 by 10 to 12. Really, more lat stimulus, and then we've got some biceps. So there is so many fun exercises for the biceps. I'm not gonna like choose one for the whole time and stick to it. So biceps, change it up. Preacher curl, alternating dumbbell, barbell. What's another one? I need one more, baby. One more. Zotman. There's just so many. Hammer. There's just so many curl variations. I can't stick to one. They're all fun. So pick one, grab some heavy dumbbells, put some heavy weight on, keep the form relatively strict, but a few cheat reps at the end are okay. More stimulus on the bicep anyway. Nobody's fighting you for that. 4 sets, 10 to 12. On the last set, go past failure. So what I mean by that, if you're on dumbbells, put the dumbbells down, grab a lighter one, go till you can't do them anymore. on the very last set. If you're on the preacher curl, you're curling, you can't do anymore. It'd be a little awkward if you train by yourself. So if you train by yourself, drop it, put a weight, then keep going. But if you got a little buddy with you, you pulling up, and then you get to where you can't pull it up anymore, and you got your buddy right there, push it up, help you finish a few more reps. It's gonna feel amazing once it's done. Your biceps are gonna be so pumped. You're gonna be drinking like the Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's like this, and he's struggling to drink. And then wall lateral raises. So I didn't make these up, but I'm pretty sure they're somewhat niche. So if I can find a video of somebody doing it, I'll put it up. But I'll also try to explain it just in case. So you're gonna lean. So this is the wall. This is you. You're gonna lean against the wall like this, head facing this way, and then you're gonna do lateral raises, letting the dumbbells come behind you, and it puts all emphasis on your delts. It's You're gonna feel it. All emphasis on your delts. It takes pretty much just takes the traps out of it. Okay, so note. Okay, so on Tuesday and Friday, we're gonna warm up our rotator cuffs seriously because this is a lot of pressing volume, and it can take a toll on your rotator cuffs. Obviously, on Monday and all that, doing some stretching, some warm ups. I'll make a separate video about warming up for squats, deadlifts, and stuff like that. But just know, warm up your rotator cuffs. All this pressing, you're gonna have to keep them warm and healthy. Okay, so if there's time on Tuesday, I know it's a lot, but if you finish Tuesday and you still have some time left over, hit some skull crushers. Skull crushers, like, you can do them with a dumbbell like this. So obviously I'd be lying on a bench, but you can do them with a dumbbell like this. Maybe there's a machine somewhere, a barbell like this, something like that. Maybe something like that. If there's time, just to accumulate some more tricep volume, because it comes back to the sticking point. You got to have strong triceps to get out the sticking point, right? Um, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, guys. Like I said, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but don't try to screenshot this or anything. And I know I kind of said the sets and reps pretty fast, but since I'm still learning, so I'm making up everything by myself. But I don't want to put a paywall over something I'm still learning. So this whole training program is going to be a pinned comment down below. It's going to have sets, reps, all that jazz. All right, guys. That's the new training program. I'll be 100% consistent with it because this is this is it's just a pretty big part of my life. So I don't like missing days at the gym. I'll be thinking about it all night if I miss it. So I'm gonna be 100% consistent. I'm eating right. I'm sleeping well, recovering well, all that stuff, stretching. So I'm gonna document the progress. So that way, if y'all don't start it now, you can come back in 6 weeks when I have the max. And you'd be like, oh damn, it does work. Let me run it myself. You know what I mean? So make sure to subscribe so that way you can see the progress, see if it works, and maybe do it for yourself. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.